Should I go live on the gram? Or do it? Hello from Tennessee, Timothy Hampton. What's up, man? You're the guy I had last night that I was like, who are you? Man, I was so tired last night. I apologize for that. Deborah Fusco, hi from Vegas. Hello from Vegas. Hello from Vegas. Hello from Phoenix. What camera do you use? I use a Sony FX30. What do you use? What do you use? Man, Instagram does not make it easy to go live. To Sun's Girl, hello. It has been a while. Who are you? The name kind of looks familiar, but it has been a while. And we've had a lot of people as of late. So I apologize if I don't remember you. No, it's not cheating, but obsessing over it is weird. Okay. Okay. All right, welcome. Just getting started. Well, let's do this. Did I post that video to the old? Yeah. Posted a couple videos today across all the platforms. All right, no child support. Why the mouth noises? I don't know. I did the first one by accident, and then I kept it going. Sorry. It's cheating. Yes, it's cheating. I do believe it's cheating. You should only have eyes for your woman. No, it's not cheating. No, it's not cheating. If my husband watched porn, I'd move out. I was with you and you had like 7 people join your live. Well, I'm glad you're still here. Yeah, the lives have been a little crazy lately. Saving the world, one pervert at a time. That's what we do here. All right, we got YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, all the platforms. Let's go. Are we going to do guests tonight? 18 and over only. Oh, it's only, what is that? What do you mean by that? How can you ever trust that they don't with it so easy to access? You just got to have open conversations, simply put. Talk about it. If you sense something's wrong, talk about it. If you're concerned about where he's at, talk about it. If you're wondering what's on his phone, talk about it. Don't wonder. Talk about it. If you think he's lying, talk about it with a counselor. Take a polygraph. Talk about it. Conversation produces action, and new conversation produces new action. So have a new conversation. All right, Jared Santiago. Hola. Almost.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
How you doing? Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, so I guess the question, it depends on the relationship, right? It depends on what you talk about, but I think we can all agree that continuously watching porn, it is very addictive, and I feel like it can lead you to doing things that you may have not wanted to do in the past, or leading you to fantasizing about other women, and your brain can't really tell the difference. Your brain can't tell the difference when you're watching porn, and obviously you're, finishing to that kind of stuff. Your brain can't really tell the difference between whether or not that was a real woman or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be as men, we definitely need to, it's available everywhere, so it would be kind of unrealistic. Literally everywhere. You go on Twitter, you go on TikTok and Instagram.
Dude, I just got on Twitter after being off it for like 10 years, and it's like it's not like actual porn, but it's like thirst traps all over the place. I know there's actual porn on there too.
I feel bad for the younger generation, because I found out about porn when I was like 16, so I was pretty late, right? But there's like 10-year-olds going on Twitter. You click on a random tweet, and all of a sudden you see a bunch of OnlyFans models posting advertisements underneath.
Yeah, for sure.
So
how old are you?
That's
no?
I'm 24.
Okay. Do you watch porn?
Not really. I've been off it for about 3 months now.
Okay. Good for you.
I've been
And what?
trying some.
Yeah. What brought you to this level of awareness?
Just, I want to be the best partner possible, and I don't think that regularly watching porn, for me personally, I don't think that's beneficial for me. I
Good for you.
think I get a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression just from watching it regularly, and I don't want those feelings to affect my relationship. So,
Good for you, man. Yeah, you're spot on.
and
I agree.
and I know a lot of people in the comments that were like, "Oh, porn is great, porn is this, porn is blah blah blah." It's great until it's not. It's great until you're watching it 2 or 3 times a day, and I think we should be treating porn like an addictive drug. I really do. So that's just my opinion on it. I don't necessarily think it's cheating, but I think it will lead you down a path that you don't want to take, and it is hard to undo it. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Yeah,
if anyone's trying to get off it, there are apps like McGeary that are fantastic for, they're basically a porn blocker. So,
yeah. There's a lot of good apps out there. That's for sure. Thanks for sharing, man.
yeah,
Appreciate
of course.
it. Yeah.
But
All right. See you, man. All right, we're just getting started here, people. Like and share. Like and share. Will you please like this live? Just smash that like button as many times as you can. We're at 647 right now. We'll get that to 10,000 soon. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me if you don't follow me already. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. And we're here for a night. What's up, Anonymous Love? How you doing? All right,
Hey, how you doing? How you doing,
Ross,
man?
back up. Hey, man, good. What's going on?
Doing great, doing great. Is porn cheating? Is porn cheating?
That's the question.
Porn is that what do you think is cheating?
I'm asking you the question. You go first.
I 100% think porn is cheating spiritually and physically.
Tell me more.
And physically. Okay. I'll tell you more. I got you. Porn is cheating because it's giving you a false fantasy. It's just everything. Even every girl that's not worked in the industry or anything like that, they can always tell you that it's not real. It's not real sex or anything. It's just a fantasy in the mind. It will never ever, get to the. It's never real. It's never real. I mean, I stopped watching porn because I just knew how fake it was. You know what I'm saying? Because when. You know what I'm saying? If you still jacking, whacking yourself off, you know what I'm saying? Just stop doing it. It's not healthy to yourself. It won't even help you grow as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
man,
it's definitely cheating.
I've got the same viewpoint, especially if you're in a relationship and you made a commitment to be faithful to one person and you're watching porn. It's not faithful. It's a betrayal.
Nah, most definitely not. But you have a great night, man. I love you to death, bro. For real, bro. You have a great night.
Man. Have you been following me for a while, or did you stumble upon
Nah,
me?
I'm gonna follow you now. I got you.
All right, cool, man. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Later. We are 2 for 2 so far, with men coming on here and having the opinion that porn is cheating. That's got to be a first. Cutie Patootie 00. Hi there. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
So I just want your
Oh, you there? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, I wanted to ask for your opinion about something. I don't know if it's a big deal or, well, the whole topic is about porn and cheating. So I recently got married, and after like 2 months, I found out that my husband is basically masturbating and watching porn behind my back, and like 2 times I caught him that he was doing it. So I talked to him about it and how I feel about it, but I don't know, he said that this is a habit and he will stop But I don't know. I feel like he's still doing it because I don't know. I just have the feeling. And I don't know what to do with the situation. I've never shared this story with anyone, like not even with my best friend, because I don't feel comfortable. So I don't know what to do with in this situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You just got married and found that out. Did you know that there was pornography in the relationship before you got married?
Well, obviously, you know, if when the guy is single and he's not in a relationship, they're always they have this fantasy of really relieving themselves. So I don't know before marriage, because we were like kind of in a long distance relationship. That's why I didn't know that, but I found out after I got married. So it was surprising and also at the same time disappointing, because we just got married and then I found out that he's watching porn, and I don't know if he's an addict or he's just doing it. I don't know, because if you have a wife, and I don't know how to explain the situation, but I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know.
Okay. Where do you live, by the way? Can I ask you that?
Yeah, I live in New Jersey now. I used to live with my parents, but now we moved in New Jersey.
Okay, got it. That's not a New Jersey accent, though, is it?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Yes, I'm originally from Iran, and I've lived in USA for 9 years. Yes,
Okay.
so I have an accent.
Got it. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, here's the question. You have a lot of questions of your partner that you don't know the answers to, right? And you confronted him with it. You don't know if he's still watching it.
Did it.
You
Yeah,
don't know if he was watching
did.
it before.
I didn't know that he's watching it before, but I kind of have the feeling that he did before we got married, and we were technically like seeing each other every month, basically. So we were basically in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And I confronted him so many times. I told him how I feel. I explained everything, like it hurts me and it's not really giving me like it doesn't give me the feeling that you still like me or still you want me. He said it's doing it out of habit, so I don't know.
Well, and that can be true. I mean, sure, he can be doing it out of habit. There's a few reasons why he could be doing it. How did it start is the question, and what does he want to be different? What's up, Guns? But again, back to you discovered it after you got married. Like, in my experience, both myself and working with lots of other people, it probably didn't start after you got married.
Yeah,
It probably started when he was around 13 years old. And has persisted until
yes. He told me a story about his childhood, like how he found out about porn and the videos, because he was at school and his friends, like, they give him like I don't know, like a flashcard or something. I don't know, that it was having like a bunch of porn videos, and he just, that was his first time, like he found out about porn and videos and masturbation, and he was just sharing this story with me. So I think that like from that moment, like when he was in his teenage, he started like watching and masturbating, so that's why it's a habit now. But I never asked him, like I don't even have the gut to ask him again if he's still doing it, but I know that he's doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's the question for you to look into, is why do you not have the guts, in your words, to ask him about this, which is a pretty major thing, right? It's a betrayal of trust since you've gotten married. Well, before you got married.
I don't know, because I've talked to him so many times about it and how I feel about it, but he never changed, or he's not even trying. So I don't know at this point if I should just ask for opinions of my family or friends, or don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, trying to get to a point of clarity will be helpful. right? So just being clear with him, what is it that he's doing? Asking him of that, to be clear with you. And then, does he want to get help? Does he want to change? And what are you wanting? Are you okay with his porn use, or are you not?
No, not at all. I feel like it's cheating, and it's not. It's crazy. It's new to me. I don't know, because I don't do these stuff, so it was just surprising for me, and also at the same time I was kind of upset. But I do want to try and talk to him and explain my situation, and if he's willing to change or at least make some effort. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I've recently followed you, and I really like that. I always join your lives, but I never I was like, I'm not sure if I should just ask for your opinion or what to do. So today I decided to do that.
yeah. I appreciate that. I'm glad you've been, sticking around. What's kind of you said you want my opinion on what?
On this situation, I don't know if I should talk to him again or if I should share this story with my friend, because I know that I will be comfortable sharing this story with my family and my close ones, and
Yeah.
see what they will suggest.
Yeah.
Or should I just talk to him for the last time and see what he's gonna do about it?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the exact right step is for you, but what I do know is that shame festers in the darkness, and it cannot stand being spoken to the light. Oftentimes when a partner finds out that they have been betrayed, there's a shame response to it. And we have a tendency to keep it inside because we don't want other people to know what we're going through as we've been affected by what our partner did. And so as you can bring it to the light, where appropriate, with people who it would be appropriate to do so, generally speaking, that's very helpful to help you get clarity on what you're wanting to process through kind of your options and how to go about it, and to be supported through it. It's a big deal in a relationship when this is discovered, assuming you're not okay with it, which you're not.
I agree. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thank you. I hope you have a good night. Enjoy your
You too.
evening.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Period. Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Have you been on here before?
No, I've never been on here before.
Okay. I had somebody with a period name, and it's very weird to just say period all the time.
I don't know why. Hi.
Well, that's your username. Blue Lilies? How about I call you Lilies? What's going on?
Hi. Yeah, I just came on here to make maybe a couple points. I don't know how popular your page is, or if you collaborate with anyone else.
Not very popular.
Okay. We'll see how far this gets, I guess. But it's funny because I never really hear anyone make the point about the reality of porn and porn actresses and where porn actually comes from. I would definitely say porn is cheating, and if anyone thought that it wasn't, I would say, well, then how would you feel if your girlfriend started doing porn, since you're already partaking in it? The women that do porn aren't just, single women. They're married and have boyfriends, and they're still part of the industry. So I would say anyone that thinks they can watch porn in a relationship definitely needs to man up and open up the relationship 100%.
Yeah, I ask guys that question all the time. How would you feel about her?
Yeah.
Doing
porn.
And they're always
I never heard anyone say that,
like,
though.
Nope. Yeah, I came across a quote from Matt Fradd the other day. He wrote a book called The Porn Myth. It was actually a really interesting interview he did. But he said, I'm trying to find it here, but basically a woman's body is not a marketplace to transact commerce or something like that. I gotta find it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, I think it's also because of the fact that
prostitution is not sex work, and a woman's body is not a marketplace.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very dehumanizing. I mean, another point I can make about porn and how you should be afraid of any man that watches porn is something that you could simply find in a blurb in a high school psychology textbook, where if a man is subjected to watching porn 3 times a week for a month, he will believe that rape myth is acceptable and okay, and dehumanize even more, and that's 100% of the time. So not only is it just unequal with your partner, it turns men into rapists. They think like rapists afterwards.
Yeah. Well, porn use certainly escalates, and it definitely gets people to think things are real that aren't actually real. 88% of porn scenes depict acts of physical aggression or violence, and you wonder why people
This
want to
was
do
actually
certain things.
not even
But
violent porn. This was just even in regular porn. So that's why I'm saying it's always degradation.
yeah, yeah,
Vanilla
I gotcha.
supposed porn is degradation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Porcelain Pretty. People's usernames on TikTok are fascinating. Mine included. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, perfect. So is porn cheating? Yes, I think porn is cheating. I think that, when you're looking at, young guys these days that are even watching porn are struggling with erectile dysfunction at an alarming rate. And that's just, single guys watching and indulging in that stuff. But in a relationship or a marriage, I think it's cheating just simply because you're giving your sexual energy somewhere else, or getting triggered, your sexual energy getting triggered, and then you're going and being intimate with your partner when you've gotten that energy or to do so from porn. So in that sense, yes, I think that it's cheating. But I did have a question for you, because I've been personally on this journey with my partner for a long time. We've gone through a lot of stuff, disclosure, a lot of like group stuff individually, for healing and things like that. And so he's currently free of porn and masturbation and has been for over a year. But there was a lot of substituting with what we call porn not porn, which is like social media, like all of the thirst traps, things like that, and then I guess what I would call finding loopholes, and I won't specify what those are, because, I don't want to trigger anyone else or give anyone any ideas. But so my question for you would be, with that kind of porn, not porn, what is your viewpoint about men looking at other women in public when they're in relationship?
Well, your whole lead up to that question, and then the question is totally different than the lead up. But I think it's porn, still porn.
Yeah.
Is my opinion on that. It's still porn. I mean, what you go from it's like you go from porn to thirst traps. It's the same thing.
Well, I've followed you. I've been following you for a while now and have caught a lot of your lives. And so, I wanted to just see if you felt that, like, if a man is going through the process of recovery, and is still looking at other women out in public, just like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, if you had a man that you were coaching and he said, yeah, I'm free of porn and masturbation for a year, I've given her a disclosure, like, I'm doing the work, but I still look at other women in public, like, what would you say on that?
Well, first of all, I would say great job on not looking at porn and masturbating for a year. With regard to the wandering eyes in public, there has to be a way to rewire that, and that takes time, for sure. How long exactly? I don't know. After a year, there probably should be some, meaningful growth towards it. But how do you do that? Well, the way you stop having wandering eyes in public is when you're out in public and you lock eyes with somebody, you humanize them instead of dehumanize them or objectify them. So it's like you look at someone, you're like, well, this is somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's. I mean, we can objectify anybody, right? But it's like I wonder what that person's struggling with. I wonder what that person is grieving, or I wonder what that person is happy about. So it's humanizing them. There's the typical methodology you might hear, which is bounce your eyes, right? Or something I say frequently is you can't help the first look, but you can help the second look. Those are useful. But to really change that or to rewire it is to start viewing people as humans. One of the many problems with porn is that it teaches you to treat people as objects. It teaches you to only see people for their sexual value. And so when you're out in public, that's why, they may be tempted to gaze like that. So you got to rewire that. How do I view people? I view them as whole, complete people with a soul. So now I can look at a person, or somebody can look at a person and not be objectifying them or thinking sexual thoughts. It takes practice.
Yeah.
How does that land with you?
I guess just on the other end of it, it's kind of hard to deal with because you kind of have to sit with them during the practicing period, and that is hurtful.
Yeah.
And hard to deal with. And I guess that's been kind of my biggest struggle through this whole process is, just, I guess, watching him fail over and over and over again. And I don't, it's like a cycle loop. And I guess there in that I'm way more educated on the whole situation than I was, obviously, when everything first came out. And so, but I guess I don't know how to help him get out of that cycle and kind of help myself not to be so affected.
Well, first of all, I would, if I was coaching this guy, I would constantly be, or not constantly, again, I don't know him, but I would be praising the work that he's done up to this point, right? To go from however long he was using it to being free for a year is great. But think about it this way, is maybe he's had a ton of growth and he's kind of reached a plateau. And the tools that got him to that plateau are not going to serve him in the same way to get to the next plateau.
We've talked about that.
Okay, good. So what has he done to kind of retool, or to get a different kind of help? Maybe it could be different books. It could be a different, therapist or counselor. It could be support group. His friends.
I guess we're kind of struggling in what that is. He goes to a weekly group, but I guess the trajectory of that group specifically, and because it's really the only one in close vicinity to our area, is that porn and masturbation, like perfection is not the goal, but at the same time, I'm like, that's not, it kind of lowers the bar, right? And because they get praised for, not indulging in porn and masturbation. And so, we've kind of talked about where, like, I personally feel like that this group was great in the beginning, but I don't feel like it's going to get him into the next level that he needs to be. And he has made a lot of progress. But I guess we're just kind of, we're kind of stuck. And so I don't know how to get unstuck in this level that we're at now.
Yeah. Well, there's some truth to that. Perfection is not the goal, right? I like to say progress, not perfection, right? Because nobody's perfect. He's not going to be perfect. I think that's a reality, right? I'm not saying that what he's doing should be excused, right? Go ahead.
do you have any resources for guys who would be struggling in that level of their recovery?
Yeah. Well, like specifically with that thing,
Yes.
or in general? Yeah. Well, first of all, I have groups. I have online groups. We meet on Zoom weekly. I also do one-on-one coaching. I would suggest, and if he's been doing this for a year, it sounds like you've done a lot of reading. The authors, the people who I typically suggest to read a lot. One is a book called Unwanted by a guy named Jay Stringer.
I heard of
Highly
it. Started
recommend
listening to it. Yeah.
Good. I would read like everything Doug Weiss has. If you're familiar with
We
Doug
just
Weiss.
got done listening to a book called Worthy of Her Trust.
Okay. I would look at Trish Lee on YouTube, and she's linked in my resources page in my bio.
I know her as well.
Okay. Well, tell me who I don't know. But I think with where he's at, it's find resource. I don't have a specific one to give you right now. I mean, it's a very like nuanced area of this, but what I think he's struggling with and where he needs to grow is humanizing other people, right? So literally, it's practicing when you see somebody in public. It's catching yourself having a thought, I wonder what that person's day has been like, right? Even stopping and, I mean, instead of going right to objectification, it's being curious about it. And what's the antidote to objectification? It's humanizing people. So how does he do that? I don't know. But it's going to be things like, what thoughts are you having towards people? What conversations are you having towards people? Even maybe this would be something for him, is like to honestly write down, like journal, how I used to view women and how I now view women and want to continue viewing women.
Okay.
Like write that down. And this is what I live by.
Yeah.
I used to objectify them by way of watching porn, or if there's physical affairs, or by anytime I'm out in public, I'm undressing people. And that's the old me. And the new me, with my eyes, my thoughts, my heart, treats people with dignity and is respectful towards them. And here are the ways I do that. When I look at them, I look them in the eyes. Because they didn't give me permission to undress them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess I found a lot of resources for when you're dealing with when guys are not in sobriety and are just trying to get out of it. But I haven't been able to find a whole lot for the things like after the fact, like maintaining recovery and what that looks like, building intimacy, and I guess in specific detail, like I guess giving you ideas. Just I hear a lot like, you need to work on building intimacy. I'm like, okay, great, but what does that actually look like?
Totally. Well, look, if you want to book a call with me, I'd love to chat with you more offline. I have groups both for men and women. We do intimacy workshops every other month. My group, there's many guys who've been free for a long time, and it's the same thing. It's like, well, now what do we do, guys? I like to view it as this is a lifelong journey. It's a complete reorientation of how we view people.
Right.
And so, and we're going to need different tools at different times. The other thing you're probably aware is rewiring the brain back to normal after porn or sex addiction is about a 2 to 5 year process. Okay.
Yeah.
So just know that as well. So he's about a year. Okay. Now, is everything going to be fixed in one more year? I don't know. But I will tell you that he's probably had exponential growth in this past year, and he's going to have more exponential growth in this next year, assuming he's continuing to do meaningful work towards his recovery, which it sounds like he is.
So here's my question on that I have been wondering about, the 2 to 5 year thing. So I know that they say that from porn, but like if you're even looking at other women out and in public, because you're still getting that dopamine hit, right? So like, is it 2 to 5 years from when you stop seeking that thing? Or is it 2 to 5 years just when you stop watching porn? Like, where does it actually, where does the rewiring actually start happening?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to consult a neuroscientist on that, which I'm not.
I didn't know if you had done any kind of research on that.
Well, you said something pretty key early on, is that he's still kind of watching thirst trappy type stuff. So
that was before.
Okay.
That was, yeah.
Got it.
It was after he quit watching porn.
Right, which is the time period we're in now, right? Or is he totally free of all of that now?
He's totally free of all of that now.
Okay.
So the main struggle now is women in public.
Got it. Yeah. Well, like I would, for whatever I've said here that's useful for you, try that, have conversation with them, go research more about that. Like if I was coaching him one-on-one, I would probably have him do some sort of journaling about how I used to view women, where that belief started, right? When did I first begin to sexualize women? Something happened. I guarantee you that.
Right. We've done some of that.
Okay. Maybe revisit that. That's something that can be helpful, is revisiting some of that journaling, after this much time. And then declaring a new vision. Here's how I view women going forward.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I will. I have been trying to research to find more stuff on that, but like I said, that specifically is kind of not been easy to find.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably not going to find a clear answer, right? You're going to find a lot of the bounce your eyes, Doug Weiss has the whole, like, put a rubber band in your wrist, which I think is not that helpful. But again,
it's only helpful if you use it.
Yeah, and is it going to hurt? Probably not, but is it going to really fix what's going on deep down? Do you listen to Sam Thieleman's podcast?
Who is Sam? Yes, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other one that I really like is PBSE.
PBSE, yeah. You're a junkie.
Yeah. I've fully gone down the rabbit hole.
You for sure have, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Junkie. She's a porn junkie. Porn recovery junkie, to be clear. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, that's Amore. I see you're here. I'd love to chat if you want to come on here. If not, that's totally fine too. Blay, what is your name?
My name is Blaine. There is a magical N in there, trust me.
There's a magical N. Okay, Blaine. All right, what's up, man?
I want to first come out as to say I used to believe that porn was not cheating.
Okay.
And now, from a long time ago, I have I've experienced a thing when I went to church and this and that, and I had this feeling, and all of a sudden I just didn't want to watch porn anymore. And it came to Bible scriptures and this and that. To narrow it down, I felt not watching porn was completely great for me, and to try and maneuver that desire elsewhere. And I thought that was cool at that time. However, a month later after that point in my life, I had that temptation, and I tried that temptation, and now I'm back into it, watching porn all over again. But let's get current. I used to think it wasn't cheating. Now I have a girlfriend. I have a 4-month-old, and I understand that I have hurt my girlfriend by, watching. And I'm seeing how terrible it is to her eyes, and now I'm trying to adjust how I am, using all that energy into, you know, into something like that than to my relationship. So I am having difficulty trying to, having that, okay, I gotta stop because this is not helping my relationship. This is not helping my view of other women. It's just not helping me. I do think it is cheating. I will answer that. And now I'm having the difficulty of just not doing it anymore.
Okay, do you want to stop?
I do want to stop. I will be completely honest, and it is very tough to say that necessarily publicly.
Yeah. Why is that?
I'd like to say that, around the people that I am with a lot, they say it is normal. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Oh, how come she doesn't, allow you to do it? She does this or that or whatever the case may be. I guess I'm being a follower, like everybody else does it, so I can too.
Where else in your life does that show up where you're a follower?
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, there's a saying, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So with this, you're a follower. I'm curious, does that show up in other places in your life where you find yourself just following other people?
I don't think so, because I've known that this was a heavy addiction that I've just followed it for a very long time. I know it's an addiction, but yeah, I've just followed this specific thing for such a long time. Everybody does it, and I haven't gotten to figure out any other question. Such a good question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't think it'd be this stressful just being on here saying this. Or not stressful, but just I didn't think I'd be feeling like this being in this panel.
What are you feeling? What's occurring for you?
Butterflies almost. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I know I'm trying to do something right for myself.
I'm trying to lead yourself.
Yes.
Is that?
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm taking a little bit of time here.
No problem.
I'm just having difficulty, I guess, acknowledging that I'm actually on, saying all these things to somebody that can, help, because I have came across, your account about a month ago when my girlfriend and I has had, a specific talk, and you came up. I immediately followed, watched a live at the same time, and I'm like, I would like to, indulge in all this content, which I've indulged in a little bit of this content, and I do like that it helps. And now my main thing is I do think it's cheating. Now I just want to stop this. I just want to stop. I know I have all these desires to, like, as soon as I come home, sit in the driveway and just do that. Like I don't need to be spending an hour or half an hour or whatever. I don't need to be spending that time in the car when I could be spending that time, in the house with my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a reason you're doing it, right? Is it an addiction? You've said, yeah, you think it is, but there's a reason, right? We oftentimes people just kind of stay at the surface level and like, oh, I shouldn't do this. and try to stop, and it doesn't work to just white knuckle it. You got to identify the root cause. Like, when did this start? But I want to drop back into how you were feeling, right? You got butterflies in your stomach. Like,
Yeah.
what is it about the question I asked that's kind of got you like in a tizzy?
I guess it's the my guess is the realization that I am, making the first step in seeking for help, instead of just acknowledging that there's help, but just not even doing anything else about it. I know deep down that I need to do this change, but I've never made the first step. Being here makes me believe that this is my first step to actually try and get this going.
Yeah, and it probably is. Great job. Great job, right? So you're discharging shame, you're discharging trauma, and your body's responding to it in a very real way. So just notice that. It's uncomfortable. But growth happens in the discomfort.
I can acknowledge that.
Yeah. So it's like no problem. To do what you just did, right? You stumbled across me a month ago and you started reconsidering things, and here you are in front of 150 people vocalizing something you probably never thought you would share to anybody.
I never have. I never had an ounce of a thought that I would be doing this.
Yeah. So here you are. Great job. And you said that you want something to be different. You want something to change. And you don't know how to do it. Great, no problem. The want to has to precede the how to. And you've demonstrated the want to here. You can learn the how to. I can help you with that.
Yes.
Books can help you with that. Other people can help you with that.
And now I am a little kind of like ashamed, because your previous person up here, I caught a little bit of it, and I merely felt, wow, I would love to get to that guy's spot, and just understanding her difficulty with that next portion gave me the understanding of, okay, I feel like that's gonna also be my next thing when I get to that point too, to I guess look forward to tackling that portion of,
Yeah.
I guess you could say, like, leading up to that point is I can understand how it got to that point and see where it can be maneuvered from the answers you also gave her.
Yeah. Well, look, you can look at somebody who's been clean for a year, and you can look at that as somebody like, I want to strive towards that. I actually, in my group call last week, which, by the way, I'd encourage you to schedule a call with me, man. I charge $1 for a 30-minute call. We can chat one-on-one, not in front of a whole bunch of people. Okay. Link is in my bio if you want to do that. I'd highly encourage you to do that. But last week in my group call, I had a guy, he's about 2 years clean, and he was a little shy about kind of sharing his wisdom, we'll say, with the guys who are new to the journey. And I'm like, the guy like you who is just, you're 5 minutes into this journey, you need somebody who's been clean for a week to look up to, and somebody who's clean for a year, and for 2 years, and 5 years. I've been clean for 7 years. I need someone who's been clean for 20 years to look up to. Right? Like, it's,
I see.
We're all on the same journey. Some just might be a few steps ahead in some areas and a few steps behind in other areas. And that's why the power of community is so important.
I can recognize that. I can see I probably said it wrong, as in ashamed. I probably have probably felt this feeling of, I can probably look up to, not necessarily that woman's person, but I can look forward to that type of progress, and how she was, explaining how she felt about everything that led her to almost 1 year, and I felt like I could do some good in my relationship along with myself,
Yeah.
to allow my girlfriend to feel the same, or to appreciate that far of a change. Not necessarily why the inquiry she called, but yes.
Well, do you believe that you can do that?
I want to believe that, yes.
Do you believe it?
I do, since I'm currently here. This is my first step, I suppose.
I believe you can. Absolutely. There's no doubt. And here's the thing: is this actually has very little to do with porn and sex. It has everything to do with how you deal with life, how you've dealt with life up until this point. And the good news about this whole journey is this is not just about quitting porn. This is about stepping into a new season, a new chapter of your life full of meaning and purpose. A man without a purpose or meaning in life distracts himself with pleasure. I'm not saying you don't have any meaning and purpose, but what I am saying is where might you need to reevaluate your meaning and purpose so that you can step into it in a new way and leave behind the behaviors that are holding you back. That's what this journey is.
I can completely agree with you because it's yes, what I do during that time is what it is. But the reasons, I suppose, why it leads into that is primarily why I am the way that I am. That leads into me doing that is my answer, and it's not healthy. I can recognize it, and it makes me feel bad.
Yeah, that's a shame response. So time to dismantle the shame. How do you do that? Well, one, you got to speak it to the light. So what are you carrying shame about? I'm not asking you to do that right now, but that's the process. Right?
I see.
So where did this behavior start? Where else do you carry shame? In what other areas of your life? And it feels like if we speak these things to the light, it's like we're not going to survive. But the opposite is actually true. When we can name the shame, we can get it out there, it can't stand it. Shame festers in the darkness, but it cannot stand being spoken to the light.
I see.
So that you've done that here. And you're going to feel a little bit lighter after this call.
A lot lighter already.
Yeah, exactly. So there's more where that came from, man, for you. I know there is.
Thank you. I'd really like to make an appointment, or make
yeah, go ahead and do it. Go to the link in my bio. We'll start here. I got a couple slots open tomorrow afternoon. Or the next day, whatever. You'll find a time on there.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this.
Thanks for sharing, man. Hey, you're doing great. You're doing great. Thanks for sharing, Blake. Yeah. All right, we'll see you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Don't you love that? Way to go, Blaine. Bullish on Blaine. Mom's AF. What's up? Is she there? Oh. She's not there. Star. My husband just went to an appointment with you. Let's go. Hey there, Star. What's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I guess I should get right to the point because honestly, reading the comment, I mean, I've been in here for a little bit. Reading the comments have kind of changed my opinion a little bit.
Okay.
But I guess I would start off by saying that I view this whole concept as being personal and how it affects everyone in their own relationship. Me and my boyfriend, we personally both watch it, but I would say that we're nowhere near addicted at all, and it doesn't change how we view each other or other people. And I think based on what I've been seeing, yes, people can see it as cheating because most people who are addicted to porn will choose to watch videos over being with their partner. But in my personal experience, I have never viewed it as cheating or me cheating on my partner because of the fact that I'm not addicted to it, and I still love my partner while watching videos every once in a while.
Yeah. So in the context of your relationship, you guys have an agreement to where not only do you use each other's bodies for sexual pleasure, but you also use other people's bodies on screens for sexual pleasure.
I don't see it as using each other or using other people.
I okay, fair. I meant like, I didn't mean using in the way that you interpreted that. I mean like you're enjoying each other in a sexual context with one another.
I would say
You and your partner, I mean.
I would say yes and no, because I would say, yeah, we do watch it together, but most of the time when it's either me or him watching porn, it's when we're alone and can't be together.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that most of the time, especially for me personally, I'm not even watching it to watch other people. I'm watching it to get maybe ideas for my relationship.
Well, why don't you go watch Looney Tunes then?
Because that isn't sexual, and
other people.
But we're talking about like sexual things.
I got it, but you said you don't watch it for the other people.
Right, but I watch it for things like ideas in my sexual life. I think of my boyfriend being in those situations, or maybe myself being in those situations.
Well, here's the thing, is you're objectifying other people. To objectify someone is treating them as an object rather than a human being, and as if they have no feelings, opinions, or rights.
Yet, why would they post it if they weren't consenting to it in the first place?
You participating in objectifying people has nothing to do with how the content got on your phone or on your computer.
I don't think I quite understand what you mean by that.
Okay. So I said you're objectifying other people. I made the assertion that you're objectifying other people by watching porn. I gave you a definition, which I'm reading it because I love finding different definitions of objectifying. They're all so good. This one again. Objectifying someone is treating them as an object rather than a human being, and as if they have no feelings, opinions, or rights. Notice that it doesn't say unless they consented to it, or if it was on OF instead of the hub. No, objectifying is when we treat somebody else as an object rather than a human being.
Okay, I guess I can see. I guess I can see how it can be seen as objectifying, but I still watch it in a way of having pleasure while being in a relationship with someone that I love.
I got it. The question is why? Why do you objectify people?
Because I still don't view it as objectifying people.
Okay, if you don't view it as objectifying people, then what is it?
They post that for their money, their content, and for people to watch. If they didn't want people to say in your case, objectify them or watch it, they wouldn't have posted it.
How it got on your screen doesn't matter. You are still making the conscious choice to objectify them.
and they are making the conscious choice to post something that people would objectify them for.
Which has no relevance to the point that you're choosing to objectify them.
So let's say I do objectify people. How does that pertain to connecting to my relationship?
Well, because in order to objectify somebody else, we first have to objectify ourselves or see ourselves as a tool or object for someone else's pleasure.
Okay, but some people are into that.
Yeah, and then you got to ask the question, is this a resourceful behavior for my life, for the experience that I am attempting to create in life?
People live their lives differently. Just because you think someone should live, just because you think someone should live their life a certain way.
I don't think you should live your life any differently, by the way.
I don't know. I just think I would say yes and no to this question. Because yes, I believe that it is something that people can really easily be addicted to. And something that, especially if they're hiding it and the other person in the relationship has set a boundary that they do not like this, or they don't want them watching it, don't want them around it, and they're still deciding to go behind their back and watch it, I would consider that cheating. I would consider that breaking boundaries and being disrespectful and cheating. But especially in cases where it's two consenting adults, they're just videos. I mean, I do the same exact thing with my boyfriend. And most of the time when we're watching quote unquote porn, we're watching ourselves.
Do you believe in, I want your opinion on this statement. A woman's body is not a marketplace. Do you agree with that or not?
I would say if she's not agreeing to be used for money, then no, it's not a woman's body is not a marketplace. But I personally would love to do maybe OnlyFans or porn, because I mean, if I can do it with my boyfriend and he's okay with it, it brings in a lot of money.
Okay. All right, so you believe a woman's body is a marketplace?
No. But I believe if a woman wants to do something like that and she's in a relationship where the other person has consented to it, it's completely okay. There are more ways in this world to make money.
I got that. But do you believe, like, societally, we should view women's bodies as marketplaces? I'm not asking whether the person consented to it or not. I got that. Do you believe we should view women's bodies? Should we participate in the marketplace of women's bodies?
No. But I also don't think that porn, continues the thought that women's bodies are marketplaces. Me personally, I see it very empowering. But I'm not going to be ignorant and say that some women aren't forced into it. Some women don't agree to it. And some women just can't get out of it.
So if we could
But that's why
if we could choose to have a marketplace around women's bodies, do you think we should choose that or choose not to do that?
I mean, we technically already have it.
No. I'm saying, like, idealistically, which is not reality. I got it. But do you think we should strive to continue using women's bodies as a marketplace or try to get away from that?
I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. But I mean, to be honest, it's not just women either. Men do it too. Men profit off of their bodies.
Absolutely.
And make money.
Yeah, and we could talk about that as well, of course. I'll give you my answer. I think for sure we should strive not to have women's bodies be a marketplace. If I were king for a day, that would be one of the top things on my agenda.
I personally think we should.
If you don't think so, that's fine. You get your own opinion.
I personally think things like forcing women into porn or stuff like that, or where they can't get out of it, or where they're actually being profited for their body without their actual consent, needs to be stopped. That is not okay. But
If you've watched porn on a major porn site, you've participated in that, most likely.
yet it's all the videos that I watch, well, most of them that I watch are videos of me and my boyfriend alone. Like, that's the stuff that we make. The videos that I watch on stuff like the big platforms like Pornhub or like OnlyFans are people that I know for a fact have consented to making their own videos and posting them by themselves.
So if you said you're interested in being an OFer, why don't you do it?
Oh, I just don't have the resources for it yet.
What resources do you need? Do you have a phone?
Oh, I just want a good camera. I don't have like a really, really good, my phone camera isn't really the best.
I guarantee you there's tons of OFers making more than $1 million a year who are using an iPhone.
Okay, well then I can get on it. But I also am working and going to college soon, so time is pretty.
Which I would say most OFers are also working and going to school. Look,
Okay, then I can do it.
And I'll tell you as a you can do it, of course. I just asked you the question, why haven't you? You said you're all about it. Why haven't you? There's a reason why you haven't yet. I'm wondering what that reason really is.
Just waiting. I mean, I can do it whenever I want. I mean, we already have videos. I just don't have anything created yet, like an account or anything. I usually go on like private servers like Safari and stuff.
I created an OF account the other day for Porn Coach. It took about 4 seconds.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah. Maybe you don't want to do it as much as you're indicating to do, but I don't know.
Or I just don't have the time to. But I mean, I can do it whenever I want. I can do it right now. I can do it in a few years. I could have done it a year ago.
To me, you could have created an account, created a logo, and uploaded all the videos you already have.
Okay.
Anyways.
But we're talking about porn in relationships.
Yeah.
We're not talking about being an OnlyFans.
Which is a very big topic.
Okay.
All right. Mama Rita, 23. Once the chat says next, like 100 times, I gotta just move on. Yeah, I took the Ellen bail. Andrew, get on here, bro. I'd love to chat. Mama Rita, hi there. What's going on? Hello. Hello? 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 Not there. Hello. Hello. Your health matters. Are you there? No. Seagull artist. I've always wanted a seagull artist to come in here. Andrew, get on here. I'll bring you right on. Why are these people not working? Dad 3D.
You're just coming in here. That's cute.
Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, thanks. It's super late, but I'm doing all right.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. I was jumping in on this conversation. I got to hear like a little bit of the backstory of some of the individuals that were in here, and it was just, it came off alarming to me, honestly. It's kind of weird, kind of wild.
Okay, why is that?
Well, for one, you got all these people that they say, I don't have the resources, I don't have the time to set up a platform for this or that, but I do it with my boyfriend or I do it with my girlfriend, whatever. I find it very concerning that if you don't have the time to set up a resource for yourself, if indeed it makes all kinds of money, it either comes down to the fact you either A, don't want to do it, or it comes down to morality. You just don't want to do it. If you had the resources, like you said, anybody's got an iPhone. Everybody's got phones. So if indeed we all wanted to do that, if we wanted to, like,
here's the thing, just real quick. I mean, I think that was obvious. It's never a time or money issue. It's always a commitment issue. Why we do or don't do things in life.
absolutely.
In my opinion. Right. Anyways, I don't like typically spending time with an excess talking about a previous guest, just to kind of honor.
So would I do it? Absolutely not. Do I want my wife all over a platform? Absolutely not. Just as easily as you can get on TikTok, you can get on OnlyFans. Do I want to know that you can see my wife in an intimate manner when, no, I don't. I wouldn't do that. I could have a fucking 12-inch dick and still not care. I could be covered in tattoos and hot as shit. I could do that. I'd be okay with that. But it's not about that. It's about the intimacy. Do I watch porn? Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah, I do. I do that. You know why? I've got 4 kids. Now, when I watch porn, am I like, oh my God, I wish I was with the big titty blonde chick? No,
All
I
right,
don't.
Hey, bro, hey, hold on.
Sorry.
You
I know we
gotta
gotta
censor
watch.
yourself. Okay, yeah.
I know we gotta watch what we say here because it's TikTok. It's all censorship and all that good. But if we're being honest here, when I would watch Corn Hub, if you will, farmersmarket.com or whatever, I watch things that are relative to my life, and I typically watch things that relate to my lifestyle. Maybe
oftentimes the type of porn we watch is related to our family of origin or trauma that we experienced growing up.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say trauma. I'd say that if I would watch a porn star, she typically has the figure of my wife or a look of my wife or something like that, because I'm naturally attracted to my wife. I'm sexually attracted to my wife, and I want her attention. I've been craving her attention. But I don't necessarily always get it because we have 4 children and a home and a life. Sometimes, yes, we'll watch those things thinking, God dang it, I wish my wife would do this. I wish she would do that. And she doesn't, and maybe it's not always her fault because she has a life just like I do, and we, have to relate to things and do our things. But I can tell you now, I can sit here and watch all the freaking time, all the time. I can say to my wife, I can say, hey, babe, why don't you put on them whatever, the undergarment that you got on TikTok Shop or whatever. Why don't you do that? Why don't you just walk in here, craving your attention? And she won't. They'll sit there. I'll watch them sit by the closet, and I'm thinking, God damn it. If you would do that, I'd eat that alive. I'd be all over it. But you don't. And then some nights you'll lay there and you're thinking, God damn it. Like I don't want to be so irritated with you because you're craving my attention. I'm craving yours, but you don't have to. Yeah, absolutely.
What are you intending to model for your 4 children with regard to marriage and sexuality and things like that?
So for my 4 children, I want them to appreciate. Their significant other. I want them to love their significant other. I want them to understand that intimacy is a serious part of life. It really is. And that is something that I have cut out of my life because of 4 children. I have cut out the intimacy and the time with my wife, or just the associative pattern. And by that, I mean, and this is super weird, dude. I had this conversation with my grown-ass parent. I'm a grown man. I was like, dude, listen, this is how weird this is. I got to close the door. No matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, whether it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't clap the cheeks too hard. I can't be verbally, intimate or passionate with my significant other because I don't want to scar my kids. I certainly don't want to fuck them up because they're too young to understand what's going on here. I don't want to do all that. But at the same time, I still crave that intimacy and that desire for my wife. I still love that. I want that. But being a parent, I don't get to have that all the time, and that really creates complications.
Hold on. Okay, what's going on in your life and in your marriage where you don't get to have intimacy? And intimacy is much more than sex, by the way. Just because you have 4 kids doesn't mean that you can't be intimate with your wife.
Absolutely. But when you can't separate yourself from kids, and a lot of people have support patterns, they have parents, they have all these extra helpers and all this other stuff. We've never been able to separate ourselves from our kids, ever. They're
Why?
always within
Why?
15 feet. Well, what do you mean, why? Because they're within 15 feet of our home, our
Hire a
doors.
babysitter and go on a date.
You say hire a babysitter, but see, when you say hire a babysitter, now you're talking about all these extra things. You're talking about extra finances that you can't actually tell me that it's realistic for me because you don't know my lifestyle.
I got it, but notice how we started this conversation. I made an assertion which you agreed to. Money is never the issue, it's always commitment.
No, it's actually always, there's two things in life that will always fuck you over. It'll either be money or kids, or it'll be both at the same time. Swear to God.
Hold on.
And this is me being grown. This is me telling you. I have been on 2 dates with my wife in 5 years, and I make plenty of money.
Okay,
Plenty of money.
You just said you don't have enough money to hire a babysitter.
It's not about having enough money about hiring a babysitter. It's about having
30 seconds ago.
You have to determine where you're going to put your money, and that's what determines how people turn out. Really,
if you want to know what's important to somebody, follow the money. If creating intimacy with your wife was important, we'd see a lot of money going to babysitters and date nights. But we don't.
We see a lot of money
So
going
why
to
is
the
that?
peaceful home that my kids have that they've never had to
I got it.
struggle.
I got
and have
3
those
kids
things.
too, and I also have no support.
So you already know then money's money. It's tight. It's tight.
I already know that it's not a money issue; it's a commitment issue. And yes, money is tight.
It's
Welcome to
definitely not a
2024
commitment
with
issue.
kids.
If you were willing to come over here and babysit my kids, I'd gladly do it. If I could judge you as a good individual,
So
and I could
you're
say,
going
you
to
could
fly
do
me
it.
to wherever you live to babysit your kids. That's going to be more expensive than hiring a babysitter.
That's
in
not
your
what I
town.
said. I said if
Money
you
isn't
were
the issue.
here and you were like my neighbor, and I said, hey, if you were willing to come babysit my kids, or I could send them to your house and I could trust you, absolutely, I'd do it. Every
Why don't
goddamn day
you-
of my life, if it gave me a minute to spend with my wife.
Why don't you do that? Go ask your neighbor.
You do not want me to do that. You don't want me to do that.
Well, here's.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I'm realistic. My neighbor's a habitual alcoholic.
Is there any possible way where you can find a babysitter in your hometown to babysit your kids for 2 hours?
That's the crazy part. I don't know. Maybe it is possible that I could probably find somebody, but I don't know that I could trust that anymore because of the way society is and the way things are.
Yeah.
I think that I'm so used to. Yes. So yes, you're right. I don't trust anybody because I've watched so many things happen to unfortunate people and kids. You're right. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody, especially now with my kids.
Are you wanting
God.
to change your relationship with trust?
I trust my wife. I trust her 100%. I do.
Do you trust her to be intimate with you?
Well, that's not a question, really. It's not a matter of trusting her to be intimate with me. It's a matter of her being able to do so because we can trust an outside resource to give us that opportunity. And to answer that, the answer is no.
So you
Because
so
we've
you
tried
don't
to
trust
trust
your wife
people.
for intimacy. You trust an outside resource, aka porn, because it's never going to let you down.
That's not what I said, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't use my words against me. I said,
I'm asking you. So what do you
I said I trust my wife for intimacy. I know that when we have those opportunities, we can appreciate them, but they are few and far between because we do not have the resources to be intimate with each other. And I
just
also
said you
know
have a
that
ton of money.
ton of money does not equal time, my guy. I'm not sure where you come up with that.
Well, you're saying like I don't have any resources. I have a lot of
So
resources.
so here we go. So I've got $2,000 tonight, right? Would I give you $2,000 to watch my kid? The answer is fucking no. Whether I have a shit ton of money or not, I would not have you watch my kid. If you told me tonight, hey, Dad 3D, I will watch your kids for $2,000 tonight so that you can go out on a date with your wife. I don't know you enough to fucking judge you from anything. So no, I would not.
Babysitter costs $2,000. You
It doesn't matter if it's $600 if I don't know them well
I
enough.
got it.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna put my kid
you're
in their
absolutely
hands.
right. You got to trust.
So
You got
where
to
the
trust
fuck
whoever's
is the
going to watch
money?
your kids. Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing is you'll judge trust and you'll rely on trust more than you will on your money. I'm not willing to put my money on somebody I cannot trust. I'm sorry. I just won't do it. That's stupid. That's
Well, who do you
ignorant.
trust? Who in your life do you trust?
I don't trust anybody because I don't know anybody enough to know.
When did you learn not to trust people?
When I got taken for granted time and time again.
When did that first happen?
For me, I don't know, actually. It was like a bunch of situations. It was when I was a kid. I was like 13. And I trusted my parents to make a judgment in what was best in my life and my interest. And they didn't. They chose themselves and money. My father was chasing money. My mother was chasing a house. They chose their divorce. And at no point did they consider the after effect of what that was going to have on me. How would I ever trust anybody?
Yeah, man. Look, thank you for naming that, right? This trust conversation is deeply wired into you from a young age, where the people who you were supposed to trust the most weren't there for you, and you couldn't trust them.
But I've lived my life giving trust to people. I've taken that situation from my parents, and I've learned to trust people. And it's only turned into hardship.
Have you though? I mean, here's the thing: is generally when those things happen.
Yeah, I'm raising two kids that are not biologically or legally mine, and I trusted a woman from 2 fucking hours away. Yes, sir. And I've been doing it for 5 years. Yes, sir, I have. And I've watched that person betray me over and over and over again. It has nothing to do with trust. It has everything to do with the fact that I've let my guard down because I have that issue with trust, or that issue with being a better person when you're supposed to be a good person. I've let that down.
Trust yourself?
Do I? I trust myself, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. 100% trust myself.
Okay.
I trust myself because I know I'm not going to give up on anybody, period. I stay loyal and obligated. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to find the answer. If I can't find a solution to a problem, I'm going to work for the solution. I trust myself. I don't give up on shit. I don't.
Well, do you,
That's
do
also
you
my
trust
biggest
that
problem.
you can figure out a way to maybe even start to try to rekindle intimacy in your relationship?
I have been trying, which is weird, and I apologize if I'm coming into your live and just like doing whatever I'm doing with it. I've been trying. I've been having this conversation with my wife for the last like 3 fucking days, legitimately 3 days. You can tell I'm frustrated, I'm irritated. Has nothing to do with the sex or anything. I could easily jump on, corn hob and take care of the problem. Go to bed, you know what I mean? Do my thing. But I'm losing the sight of everything that I'm doing because I'm craving the one thing that I've been working for years.
Which is what?
My wife. I gave up my life for my wife. I devoted myself to that woman. I accepted her the way she was, the way she is, and I will every fucking day of my life. But god damn it, I don't think it's asking too much to say I'm willing to put myself on the line and everything I'm doing in my life, success or what have you. God damn it. Can I not just have a fucking minute with you? Just a fucking second with you?
Hey, stop with the language, dude. Like I'm
sorry. I apologize. I know I'm terrible. I apologize. I don't want to get you banned. I don't want to get
You're
you
fine.
banned.
I love cussing, okay? But just please don't do it here.
I do it like a sailor, man. And I apologize for that. I got to keep remembering where I'm at in that atmosphere.
Yeah. All right. Can I offer you a piece of advice?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm open to anything you have to say.
All right.
I've been open to it.
Okay. So here's the thing, man. It's like, I think what you're wanting, which is what every human being wants, is love. They want to be loved. And then we want deep, intimate, vulnerable connection with other people. I think you want that with your life, with your wife and your life. All right. And look, it's like, what can you get help to do that? Is it a therapist, a counselor, right? Some sort of couples counselor. Maybe that is a type of resource that can get you on the same page with your wife to try to rekindle that relationship and that intimacy. And that may not be in the cards. I don't know. But it's worth trying.
You're
And
right,
guess
it
what?
is.
It's going to cost time and money. And it's worth exploring. To see
Absolutely,
if
and
that works.
I've done that for a long time. It's one of those things that, like I said,
Have you guys have done therapy? What have you done?
we have not done therapy. No, we haven't done that.
Would you consider doing something like that?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, will you do it Monday? Will you find a therapist or a couples counselor and schedule an appointment?
I've had them lined up for years. It's
Have you
not.
met with one?
I have actually. If I had a
With your
dollar,
wife?
that's where the problem comes in.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can't,
If I had a
you
dollar
can't
for
force somebody
every
else.
moment I have involved myself in fixing something or trying to change something.
Yeah? How many dollars would you have?
A shit ton of money.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, I don't know what's next for you, but I appreciate the conversation, and there's always hope for you, man. You just got to try other
absolutely.
things, right?
But how do you see it the same way that I see it? With is porn cheating? Nobody's really asked you. How do you feel about it? Could I ask you?
I think you've resigned yourself to the idea that look, you're 13 years old, you learned not to trust people, and you developed a survival strategy to get you through that period of life, which you needed. We all do it. We all have things that happen to us when we're young, and then we make a strategy or a vow that gets us through the hard season in life when we didn't see another way. In almost every case, strategies become strongholds and they stop serving us in life. They start working against us. So a strategy again, I'm not saying I'm right here, but maybe for you it's something like I don't trust people.
Open to what you have to say.
Yeah,
I'm totally
so I
open
don't
to what
trust
you have.
people. That strategy is not going to serve a person well in life. Do we have to trust a babysitter to watch our kids? Absolutely. Is it risky to trust a babysitter? Absolutely. If we never trust anybody to take care of our kids, we're probably not going to produce very good kids because we need other people
I
to
would
come
disagree
alongside.
with that.
Okay.
I would
that's
disagree
fine.
with that.
Well, what I mean by that is to send them off to school. I mean, to send them off to school,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? To be on their own. That's what I mean. We have to trust that other people will care for them, right? So we have to trust.
Even that has taught me that you can't trust those people.
Well, so what are you going to do, right? So I think there's opportunity to renegotiate your relationship with trust, right? And then two, I mean, it sounds like you've resigned yourself to, when intimacy isn't working, so I'm now entitled to go watch porn. And I can see why you'd think that. I don't agree with that, but I can see.
I'm definitely not entitled to it. I would prefer my wife over porn any day of the week. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's like a last ditch option. You know what I mean? Last ditch option.
Here's the question, right? If you want to see what's important to somebody, follow the time, follow the money. How many hours, how many dollars have you spent towards therapy, counseling, couples work, books on building intimacy, watching YouTube
But
content
you're following time and you're following money. They're the two worst things to follow. Time and money are the worst two things to follow.
No, I'm not saying chase time. I'm saying if you want to see what's important to somebody, generally speaking, if you follow the time and the money they're spending on something, you'll see what's important to them.
That part makes sense. That makes sense. Although the money, I get it. And the time.
All right, man. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
All
the
right,
information, the advice, the talk.
Yeah. You got it, man. We'll see you. Bye-bye. I gotta pee. Hey there, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. I'm sorry. I don't think porn is cheating.
Okay, tell me more.
I mean, I honestly, I think if you have a relationship with somebody, like physically or over messaging, then yeah, that's cheating. But if you're just watching something and getting off to that, I don't feel like that's cheating.
Okay, are you committed to your partner?
Yeah, we've been married for quite a while.
How committed are you to your partner?
As if I would cheat on him, I would never. If I would think that I would be able to have like a relationship with somebody, I would never.
Are you so committed to your partner that you wouldn't masturbate while watching another man have sex?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Are you so committed to your partner where you wouldn't masturbate while watching another person have sex?
Oh yeah, in person?
I didn't specify in person or not.
I mean, in person, no. But me and him have had like where we would do it together.
What about not in person?
Not in person? Like, yeah, I've done that before, and I've let him, like, he does that. He does his own little thing. I do my own little thing sometimes, but it's not cheating, like, where it's like addiction. Like, I don't think it's like addiction. Like, I've been through addictions, and I don't think like that's an addiction, in my own personal opinion.
Okay. How often do you watch porn?
Not that often.
How often?
I don't know, probably like maybe like once or twice a week.
Okay.
Like when I just want to have my own personal time with myself and my.
Too often. How often would be often then?
I don't know. Like to me, like that's my own personal time with myself to explore my own body and like to figure out how I would, and like watching porn. Like I don't know. Like I don't think that's like I've done it since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's like a big deal. Probably 12.
Is when you started watching porn?
Yeah.
Do you think porn is a suitable thing for 12-year-olds?
No. But like I had something that had.
Most people learn about sex and sexuality by watching porn at an age that's far too young. Do you think it's possible you might have learned some things that didn't really help you out that much?
Yeah, I know, but
you know
I
that?
was a kid. Yeah, that happened. Yes,
Okay.
I can agree.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, like I worked through that with therapy, like you had talked to the last person about.
Did you work through it in therapy, or did you just? Well.
Like I worked through like what happened to me in therapy, and I got over that.
Okay. So what value do you get from watching porn? How does it enrich your life?
It doesn't. I don't like to like. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not like I don't think like porn could be an addiction.
Well, if it doesn't enrich your life, why do you do it?
Because I feel like I'm able to just get off faster. I'm sorry. I don't want to like get you banned, but.
Well, if the last guy didn't get me banned, you're not going to get me banned. I can tell.
Okay. I can say like I feel like that can get you just like that's just like okay. I just want to like film myself real quick and I want to get off of it because like girls it's harder than boys. Like men like they can come real quick. I feel like. Girls it's like harder for them to be able to so like they need to like imagine something in their mind. Like when you're doing what you do, you imagine something. You can't just and just I don't feel like you can.
Are you telling that to me, or are you talking about your own experience?
I'm just period. Like I just don't feel like that's possible.
You don't feel like it's possible. You don't feel like what's possible?
Like that somebody cannot just like imagine something in their head and be able to do what they need to do.
Well, you said you're married, right?
Yes, sir. So like when I'm watching something like that, I imagine my husband's doing that to me.
Why don't you just do it with him?
I can, but sometimes he's asleep and I can't do that, You
tried waking him up? Most guys love that.
What? And he has to work.
Is he there? Let's get him on.
He's gonna tell me not to wake him up right now because he has to work. He's gonna think this is crazy. Okay, I'll wake him up. Hold on.
Oh, gosh.
I'm upstairs. He might yell. I don't know.
I have a challenge for you. Wake him up and ask him if he wants to do the thing. Well, no, get off this live, then wake him up and ask him if he wants to do the thing, and come back, report back tomorrow on if it worked or not.
Okay, I will. I'll tell you, I've tried this before and this never works. When he sleep. Okay.
All right, well, come back in a little bit. Tell us what happened.
Okay, well, good night. Have a good night.
Bye. Oh man. Oh gosh. I love that when, gosh, it's the best when I'm like, well, are they there? Wake them up. I never expected anybody's actually going to do it, but it does happen. That's the best. I gotta pee. Caitlin, can you come on here for a few minutes? I need water. I need to water and de-water. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I was feeling intimidated when you walk off, and I know you're still listening to me, though. Like,
Hey,
here I
everybody.
am messing up his live.
Do you know, Caitlin, if you don't follow an honest love, follow her right now, okay? All right, give me a few, okay?
Thanks. Okay.
Or do you want to just talk?
Oh, gosh. I mean, you can try. I feel like I'm not as eloquent as you are.
Well, you got to start somewhere. Good luck. I'll be back.
Oh, thanks. Hello.
Hi.
He just like pairs us up together. How's it going?
It's going good. It was funny though, because I was like same Z's and was about to go get water and unwater.
You're on.
But it's okay. I'm pretty sure he's hearing. Hi everybody. So he's obviously not here, but as you said, he can hear us. So I have a story. I've been wanting to say this story for about, I want to say maybe like 2 nights ago, and I just happened to like not be able to sleep, and I was hearing all these stories, right? And so I have a boyfriend, and because of this live, I decided to ask him like, hey, we've been together for like 3 years, but is porn cheating? And he pretty much said, I don't think it is, but maybe it is. And I was like, well, do you want to make it a thing? And he was like, yeah, sure, okay, porn is cheating. And I was like, cool. But again, my boyfriend doesn't really watch porn, and neither do I. Not saying that we haven't or didn't, right? But single life, you know what I mean? It's way different than when you're committed to somebody. So anyways,
live and learn.
yeah, exactly. So the story that I wanted to kind of say is how porn is cheating. And sorry, am I allowed to say that? Corn, right? Corn, that's what we're doing? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a gray area. Either way.
Okay, cool. So is everybody ready? Because this is wild. I was at my boyfriend's house, and it really has this, it just has something to do with the mind. And I've never actually, it's a little difficult. That's why I haven't been able to say this story, because I'm kind of
bracing myself.
I'm disgusted by this story. Okay, so I was at my boyfriend's house, and his dad happened to be at home. I'm just gonna spit it all out, okay? Like word vomit. So he was on the couch.
No, let it out.
Yeah, he was on the couch, and his 2 nieces were, my boyfriend's 2 nieces were also on the couch. One is 1 year old and the other one is 8 years old. And then they also had like a cousin, and she's like 19, 20, something like that. It was disgusting because they're all watching TV, but he's on his phone and he's watching, you know what?
Oh no.
And me and my boyfriend just kind of walked, because we were leaving to go eat at a restaurant, and we saw that, and I was like, oh my God. And then my boyfriend was kind of like, what is wrong with you? I can't believe you. Like, you know what? It was just like, dude, if you're going to do that, get away from the kids.
Yeah.
We were debating,
so
like, do we
inappropriate.
call the cops? Like, I mean, we're both first responders. That's the worst part about all of this.
That puts you in a bad position too.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, with everything going on in the world, like, that dad guy, I know we're not supposed to like really talk about them because they're not here to talk about it, but like I understand when he says he can't really trust anybody. I mean, look at this. Like, these are my boyfriend's sister's kids, and they're with grandpa, and grandpa is right next to them, watching this disgusting shit. There was no audio or anything, but I'm just like, how is this not a problematic thing when it comes to the mind? Because you're here and these are babies and you should love your own flesh and blood. And I mean, just to watch that while they're next to you is just, it's disgusting. And I just feel like it really is some form of addiction, you know? I mean, like I don't do any drugs or anything. I'm a social smoker. I drink. Sometimes I'll, smoke when I'm stressed or whatever. But I've never been like, I'm reading a book or I'm playing online or I'm on this, first time live and I am like, oh, I need to go smoke a cigarette. That's not a thing. But for him to just, let me just pull out my phone. My wife isn't here. There's no other adults. And these kids are here, and we were about to leave, and he just did that. Like I just think it's disgusting. And the worst part of it is when my boyfriend tells him like I should, call PD right now. Like I can't believe he did this. I'm just thinking like I'm a mom. My daughter is 12, and I just want to tell his sister what her own dad did, but I feel like it's not my issue and I've just been stuck. And then I'm like, who do I tell? Who do I vent? And 2 nights ago, there was somebody saying a story and it made me want to speak out. And now, I'm talking about it.
Yeah, so you said something. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. And I did hear
You're
it.
welcome. It's terrible.
Well, and it is. It is what happened, right? You said something like, if you want to watch it in private, that's fine. But here's the problem with that is watching in private is what gets somebody to the point where they watch it around their grandkids. So it's not, I'll make the assertion, it's not fine to watch in private. Because that's an escalation. He's escalated his porn use to watching it on the couch with a 1-year-old and a, however old
8.
these other kids are. 8 and a 20-year-old, whatever you said.
Yeah, and I would never even be like, oh, watch it in private. Like, it's just how.
Yeah. So here's the question. You said you're a first responder. Many people consider now. I'm not hearing that he was showing them the porn.
No, he wasn't.
Many people would say, that even if the kids were able to see it, like that's sexual abuse.
Yeah, it is. And I feel this is why.
If you were those kids' parents, would you want to know about that?
Yes. And actually, there was a situation like that with my daughter and myself with my own dad. And then I told so, yeah, it's bad. It's just terrible. These things in a way, like in Texas, I'm from Texas. It's kind of good that now Pornhub, you have to be, well, I don't know, they said they got rid of it or something like that, but it's more like you have to be 18 and above or something like that. But my daughter, who is 12, grabbed my pop's phone, and when she was helping my niece, she just turned 5, so was trying to get into the Safari because it's an iPhone, and as she's swiping onto the right page, there was another page with that. Not saying that my pops was watching it. He was probably watching it like another time, which, my mom and my pops, they're different and they're older. And I, get it. I don't agree with it, with what they do. Like sometimes for him to get off or start, he needs to get a little motivation. And then they start, like a TMI, right? But that's on them. And, that's their thing. But again, it has to be with the kids.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry.
I don't know if this is the right question, and it might piss you off. Okay, I'm not asserting that I'm correct when I ask this, but when did you decide that you want to protect these older men instead of protecting the children?
Oh no. When it came, well, okay, yeah, I definitely get your question. When it came to my pops, I did tell him right away. I told him right away, and I actually told him, like, let's step outside. I left my daughter inside, my niece inside. I told my brother, come here, you and me, we need to talk to Pops outside. And I just told him, hey, my daughter was going through your phone to set it up for my niece, and this is what she saw. And he was like, oh, I'm really sorry, all this stuff, and I get it. He was pretty much embarrassed. And, me and my brother were just like, just, you need to be careful. So that needs to be erased as soon as, you're going to hand it to a kid. Because if you're giving it to them and that's what's on it.
How about you need help? You just gave my kid porn.
Yeah. And then when it came to my boyfriend's dad. Yeah. But it's just so, it's mentally disturbing. But when it came to my boyfriend's dad, I mean, yes, we've been dating for 3 years, but I've only been there a handful of times, and they are kind of like more on the Mexican side. I think if anybody gets that, you know what I mean. But
mi esposa es mexicana.
Okay, so they're just a little...
Yo entiendo.
Good, but he's just more like the aggressive kind of Mexican. Like there's this word machisto, and it's kind of like that, But even then, I looked at him and I literally told him, like, you should be ashamed of yourself and you should talk to your daughter. And I had told him, either you tell him or Peter and I mean, if you either have to tell your daughter what happened with, her own kids, or I'm going to tell her with, my boyfriend. And he was like, he said his words, and he was, he didn't give a flying anything.
I'm going to ask you a terrible question. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
How would you feel if at some point in the future something happened, and you know what I mean by that, and you had...
Yeah, I'd feel responsible.
Okay, so what is the best thing to do here?
I don't know. I know what to do. I mean, I've wanted to call CPS. I've wanted to call CPS for multiple reasons other than this. But then again, I feel...
Something's gonna happen. Stuff is already happening.
Yeah, but also the worst part is, like, I don't even think their mom... Like, the mom doesn't even care when they... Okay, so... Oh my God, it's weird. Again, Mexican. So they're Mexicans. I'm half Mexican too, so... But, okay, so my boyfriend lives with his mom and dad and grandma, right? And then next door is his sister. So these kids, whether they're invited or not, they just leave over there to grandma and grandpa's house. And the mom just doesn't even care. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, your kids are over here. And she's like, oh, that's where they were. And I'm like, girl, like...
Grandpa who watches porn around the kids?
Yes. Yeah. See, when it came to my dad and my brother, like, that was it. Like, it was, and it wasn't even like I'll tell him later. No, it was like, hey, we need to talk to you now.
Maybe there's an opportunity to protect somebody else's kids.
And then my boyfriend just doesn't want to even deal with it. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why there's no initiative to just do the right thing. And ever since then, like...
But do you want to do the right thing? Are you willing to do it?
Yeah, of course, but I mean...
Look, if something happens, you can be like, oh, my boyfriend should have done the right thing, which can be true. But also, Can you live with yourself if you didn't do the right thing?
I mean, at this point... To answer your question, I could not live with myself if anything happened to those girls, for sure. Yeah, but at this point, it's just like he didn't care.
Why? But you're just talking
because
about him.
It got a little confrontational when we saw that. Like he was at the edge of the couch and we saw that, and I gasped.
But the kids,
super loud.
the kids. You
Yeah.
said there's been multiple things you wanted to call CPS for. Like, and by the way, this is a tough situation. I don't know the answers here, but what I want you to see is you can do the right thing. You have every opportunity, and there shouldn't be any excuses for doing that, especially when there's little tiny kids involved. A 1-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. But so my thing
No
is,
but.
no, not a but about me on my part. No, I definitely will do that. So the problem for me, the but of this situation is, how can I protect these children? Like, this is my boyfriend. We're not even engaged or married, right? But the protect for them is there. How can I do that when I feel like the mom is also kind of not doing her job, which enables their dad to not give a shit, which enables my boyfriend to just kind of digress and get super depressed. Like, depressed over it. Like, it's just a dysfunctional family, if I have to be honest.
Well, what family is
And then I'm reading somebody say that she might not know. I don't know. Like, I feel she does. Because that other girl, the 18-year-old girl, like...
Why not just get clarity? Ask her, hey, did you know this? Grandpa's watching porn with the 1-year-old.
Yeah.
No judgment. Maybe a little. I don't know. Hey,
No,
did you know Grandpa's watching porn with your 1-year-old by his side?
I mean,
I'm just asking you because if I was you, I would want to know that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, one thing to go back on it's because,
Gabby.
I totally forgot about my dad.
Gabby? Is your name Gabby?
Oh, it's Gabby or Vanessa, yes.
Yeah. So just notice, like, whenever it comes to, like, the point of potentially making a risky, bold, courageous decision, you just, like, run away from you. Like, oh, and then there's this other thing over here. And then this other thing over here. It's like,
yeah, it's because it's a lot.
The right thing. It may not be as much as you think it is, though.
Yeah, when it comes to my boyfriend's nieces, that's that situation, and I will do everything I can in my power to protect them because, like you said, like,
is that a promise?
It literally, oh, definitely. Like, it's not even a thing where probably tonight.
Okay.
But one other thing that I wanted to mention, when it came to my pops and all that stuff, one thing I kind of want to say to any, single moms out there or anything like that. My daughter's 12 and she doesn't really know anything about corn or anything like that. But when she saw the explicit photo, it was like an ad or something, because that's how she gave it to me. She's like, Mom, look, this is on Grandpa's phone. She didn't give it to Grandpa. She didn't give it to anybody. She's just, Mom, look. I said, okay, let me handle it. This is what, Grandpa's not supposed to watch. And then she even has like, is Grandpa cheating on Grandma? And I was like, well, that's their story. But what I'm telling you is, it's a good thing you showed it to me. And, she's kind of now aware of that. But I feel like that's where we have to protect the kids. Like, don't get Grandpa's phone, Grandma's phone, anybody's phone, like nothing like that. But I was very happy. It was kind of like a best case scenario, even though it's not, that at least from this point on in my family, that shouldn't happen anymore. And when it comes to my boyfriend's family, I want the same thing where that doesn't happen anymore. But if I have to be honest, the only reason why there's been buts, I mean, this happened 2 days ago. And even now, like, I'm losing sleep over this. I don't feel good. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe that the kids, I mean, so far they haven't been over there because I've asked my boyfriend.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of safety for them.
I got it, right? And look, you can't change anybody else. But in this situation, it's like, you will not regret trying.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you really...
And here's the thing is it worth it to try? And maybe you can be a catalyst towards some positive influence in their lives.
Exactly.
So, all right.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Protect the kids, people. Look, if you have not read Good Pictures, Bad Pictures to your children, go buy it immediately. Good Pictures, Bad Pictures. I have heartburn. I hate heartburn. drink some milk, and I gotta go downstairs again. My ears are so sweaty. Oh, my homies hate heartburn. Like and share, people. Will you guys follow me? Hit the follow button, please. Will you also do me a favor? Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Thank you. Yeah, I don't find that milk really helps a whole lot for heartburn. Like, nothing works. Especially not mustard. Somebody, I think it was a joke, they got me to eat a teaspoon of mustard on live. Didn't help at all. Love the content. Thank you. If you love my content, will you give me a follow? Jillian Souza. Hi there.
Hello.
Have you been on here before?
And like on here before? Oh,
Have you been on here
I
before?
haven't been. Not on like not like speaking to you, but I've like watched a lot.
All right. The name looks familiar. Maybe you've commented.
Yes, I've definitely commented a lot before.
All right. What's going on?
Since like basically I just want to come on and like speak about like porn and like my experience with like my ex kind of, and maybe get some clarity, I guess.
Okay. Hey, she said she's contacting CPS. Let's go. Good job. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Taylor, the birth prep coach. Hi. Good to see you. Sorry. All right, Jillian, go ahead.
No worries. So I had an ex, had a porn addiction, I remember, and we dated for almost 2 years. And I remember, so I would like to start off by saying I definitely think it's cheating. The whole relationship, he watched porn, I guess, and I caught him like 4 times our whole relationship. I remember asking him like, is it me? Like, I started to think I was the problem. And I remember like, he told me like in all of his relationships, he had like the same issue, I guess. I remember I would, like, he said when he was younger, like, I don't know how it started, but when he was younger, he said, like, the first, like, time he heard about porn, like, he was a little kid, and I guess he caught his dad and his mom were fighting about it, and, like, I guess his dad got caught using it and stuff, and, I was just wondering, like, how, like, that stuff starts, because, you know, like, how would you, like, come from, like, you know, you see that your parents are fighting, and then, like, you know what I mean? And then you develop it. And I remember, like, throughout our relationship, like, I found screenshots of, like, I also wonder because I found screenshots in his phone of, like, girls that we went to high school with. And it was, like, from Instagram and even, like, a screenshot of his ex. And there were girls I specifically mentioned, like, do you think there's, like, such thing as, like, trying to get revenge on your partner? Like, I don't understand why he would, like, choose out those specific girls, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, oftentimes it starts around the age of 13, by the age of 13, 10 to 13, you know, when a boy, or a person, but we're talking about a boy here, is coming into their own sexually, beginning to explore things. Oftentimes they find something for older generations, that's a magazine or something like that, of their dads or their uncles or their grandpa. You know, in this generation, they're given a phone at a very young age with no restrictions on it, and you pretty much turn a phone on nowadays and open a browser and there's porn. It's like 3 clicks away. And it's interesting, it's curious, there's curiosity, it's arousing. Well, wow, this feels good, something funny's happening down there, let's keep doing this. But there's also simultaneously this shame component. It's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be feeling this. This doesn't feel right. So there's oftentimes this instant, let's just put this one in the basement, not tell anybody about it. But wait, I still like it. I still want to do it. And then it just gets reinforced over and over and over and over. It's reinforced to hide this, to have a secret part of their life that has to do with porn and sex.
Mm-hmm.
So every situation is different, right? But generally speaking, they follow some sort of thread like that. Now, there can certainly be abuse situations, at a young age that contribute to it. But it creates a shame response. So you indicated, something like your boyfriend, he's had this in every relationship, including yours, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
Well, he's actually now an ex, but I just want to come on and like speak about it, maybe get some clarity because I just like felt terrible the whole relationship, and like I just wish I like broke up with him earlier, because like, he was do you know about like avoidance? Like what an avoidant is?
Is it somebody who avoids?
It's like it's like an attachment style. Like I noticed like he was very much avoidant. Like yeah, and it was just a bummer because like that happened the whole relationship, and then like the last time like I caught him, and like he was like every time he would say I'm sorry, and I would be like, well, why are you doing this? And he's like, I really don't know, and like I do remember he said when he was little he did have a situation once like where like he gave like oral to like his brother I guess, and that they didn't speak about it, and like and like they have a great relationship now. Like, do you think that could be a contributor? I don't know.
Well, 100%. I mean, and that's not as uncommon as you might think.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is some sort of sexual trauma, sexual abuse. I mean, amongst siblings and cousins. It definitely it'll help form their arousal template, and then again reinforce that secret life of like, I'm never going to tell anybody about this.
Oh, I see.
Because there's too much shame. Right? And do they have a good relationship? Sure. And is there a huge shame thing between them? Yeah. Do their parents know about that?
No, his parents don't know. Like I'm 21. He's 22. So like, and his brother's like 27. So they never spoke about it.
Yeah. So again, it's that's probably tied up in his sexual story, right? Well, I'm pretty much guarantee it is. Right. So
and I wanted to ask. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I want to say like, so now that like we're out of the relationship, he told me like, oh yeah, I stopped like 2 months before right when we broke up. He was like, I stopped 2 months ago and I haven't, and like I don't even know if that's like true, considering he's had the problem like for a long time, you know what I mean? Like, do you think now that like we've been broken up since last December, do you think he still has that like issue?
Jillian, I've never talked to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get him on here. Let's ask him.
Well, we have each other blocked, so I don't think that's something that can happen. He wouldn't do something like this. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, here's what I would say is, I would ask, what did he do to get clean?
Like nothing. I would say like.
So, in my experience, this comes from Dr. Doug Weiss and his experience and research, that the odds of being clean and staying clean within 6 months. I'm sorry, I messed that up. The odds of relapse within 6 months, if you haven't got some sort of professional or intentional help, is basically 100%.
Okay.
So white knuckling it doesn't work.
Okay. Cause like our whole cause like when I found out that it was an addiction, I like was like doing my research and stuff, and I was like trying to talk to him like, oh, like how can we like work on this, you know what I mean? And like he just never tried to like talk about it or anything. Like I think there was like this one live you were doing like where the lady was talking about like the boyfriend was like always playing video games, and that I think you were like, did you really stop? And he was like, yeah, I did stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was kind of like that.
Yeah, but then we asked him. No, then I. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, did he really stop? I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm curious why you're asking this question. You guys have been blocked since December or broken up for almost a year.
Yeah, I think it's just more like I wanted clarity to kind of hear like maybe that I wasn't the problem or something, you know, with like the whole situation.
Okay, you're not the problem. You aren't the problem. You didn't cause it. You didn't do anything that would have made it better or worse. This is his issue. It has no bearing on your value, your beauty, or anything about you. It's like a disease that he's dealing with.
Okay.
Do you believe me?
All right. Yeah, I do. I like it just, you know, I think I just needed that reassurance from someone. You know what I mean? And I know you have this account where you speak about this topic and like you make content, so I wanted to hear like kind of your view on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, believe that. And don't believe it because I'm saying it. Believe it because it's true.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, I just want to come on here to kind of say my story and also like, you know, that I do obviously believe it's cheating and, you know, for people to hear this probably and kind of, you know, if they're in the situation I was in, you know, but yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Dr. Doug Weiss is a great man, and this is not a negative about Dr. Doug Weiss. My intent in saying this is nobody's perfect, right? Don't idolize these people. He got divorced like 2 years ago with no comment, and I still love Doug. I've done content with Doug. Okay. I'm in the Warpath series, which is his latest series. I'm an extra, okay? I sit in the audience. I'm not claiming to be a contributor to it. Doug's a great guy, and 2 years ago, he just magically got divorced. I called his office, and I said, hey, did Doug get divorced? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what happened? And they're like, we're not saying anything. Doug's the guy on marriage and sex. He literally coined the term sex addiction, intimacy, anorexia. And then one day he gets divorced and doesn't say anything about it. Now again, this is nothing against Doug. My point is, don't idolize anybody in this space, in any space, really. Don't idolize me. I hope you're not. Learn from many people and believe what's true. Discern for yourself what's true. Because if an idol falls, so to speak, don't let it shatter you. Because they're human beings too. So, anyways, Doug Weiss is a great guy. Buy his books. Still a puzzling question though. WTF, Doug. Got divorced and remarried within like 3 months. What got you into this? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I watched a lot of porn, which escalated into physically cheating while I was married. I'm still married to the same woman. We've been married 13 years. And life is way better this side of betrayal and restoration. And I try to be the voice that I wish I had. Somebody who would have pressed into me with all my balls. Oh, where's my beep button? It didn't work. Now you know the secrets. Why did my beep button work? Censor button. Where are you? The clap works. The censor doesn't. Whatever. No, she didn't approach me. I never got caught. I had a squeaky clean record. I confessed to her. Oh my gosh, I confessed to her. What day of the week was August 17th, 2017? I confessed to my wife on August 18th, 2017. Why am I disconnected? What happened? Is this broken? I confessed to my wife on August 18th of 2017. Also known as D-Day. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction and women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in scheduling a call with me, if this content has been helpful, if you want to talk more about your situation, learn about what I offer, maybe join one of my coaching groups, which I have both for men and women that are very effective in helping move you forward to something new in your life. If you want your life to be different, consider scheduling a call with me and or joining one of my coaching groups. Gabby's back. What did she say when you confessed? There weren't a lot of words.
Hi, I'm back.
Gabby, what happened?
So I went ahead and it's weird, the whole CPS thing. It's not as I thought it would be. This would be my first time involving CPS, but they pretty much just took down the notes and just date all the 10 codes, all of the information and who was there, who was involved, what was witnessed, and where was mom. And, I don't know. Even till this day, I'm still trying to get in contact with her. But of course, my boyfriend's kind of like, nah, just let it go. And there was an argument with us. And I just wanted everybody to know that when I said but, it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. And it wasn't because I didn't want to share it. That is not at all in my heart, in my mind. It was so much of
Gabby,
I was put in a difficult situation because, thank you. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is it's a difficult situation and it's all because of corn, like I actually like corn, but like the bad corn. And
not like elote.
Yeah, and that's where it sucks. But I did want to share something else, if you would let me.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So earlier you had said, what has porn done to cause us pain? And a long time ago, in 2020, I had a boyfriend, and you could say daddy issues or whatever, but he was 17 years older than I. And he had been with his wife and only his wife. And then, there was the whole Instagram models and, so many things. And it was to a point where I talked to him about it. Like, I get it, you're doing this, but this is not right. You're violating my boundaries. We're not going to deal with this. If we do a role reversal, you would not appreciate me doing this to you. Because it doesn't feel good. Like, I'm not insecure at all. I have my body parts, and this man was my boyfriend, and I'm not trying to sound weird on your live, but he really had no want or need that he wasn't getting from me, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember how we told I forgot her name, but we told her, wake him the hell up. Like, he will like it. It's wood that we don't want to waste.
I didn't tell her to do that. I said,
well,
I said, what do you think would happen if you did that? I only ask questions.
I was on that chat like, wake your man up. Get on him. Just get on him. Girl, get you. You get yours. I just believe that there's no necessity for corn when you can get all of that from your partner. Well, long story short, after, and I feel for me, and I'm gonna feel for everybody else, because I thought I was safe. I thought I was safe from IG models. I thought I was safe from Cornhub. No, we broke up. And I live on my own. I've lived on my own for a long time, and it's just me and my daughter. And when he left his backpack. So I ended up going through it. I found a pen drive full of a bunch of stuff. So again, I wasn't safe when I thought I was safe. When I thought the whole time that we were together. And then it made so much sense why he had his laptop with him all the time. So, anyways, I deserved better. I knew that it wasn't a me thing. I knew that it was a him thing. He did tell me that at a young age, that is what helped him cope with a lot of things, like the loss of his grandma, loss of his mom, all this stuff. And I understood it. Told him he needs therapy. He needed to talk to somebody. Then 2 years later, or actually a year and a half later, after COVID, he ended up popping back in my life, saying that he was changed, he was different. He did the whole 360 of look at me, I'm new and I'm transformed and I'm not that old person. And I'm like, sure. I was on eggshells, gave him a chance. None of the
Gabby,
porn.
Gabby, where are we going with this story?
He did the whole proposal thing just to later on find out that he made a Finsta and fake, what is it called? Facebook? Like a fake Instagram, fake Facebook. So kind of living two separate lives. And I just think that shit really hurt. And
yeah. Well, here's the thing: you can't out sex a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care how many times you wake them up at night, you're not going to get rid of the porn addiction.
Yeah, exactly.
It's porn and sex addiction is not a porn and sex problem. It's a how you deal with life problem.
Exactly. And it took, not only was it the breakup, but it was the fact of what it was that just helped me get through it and know that I didn't lose anything in the end, because it was this addiction that just made him the way he was. And it is what it is, and I overcame it, and I knew that it wasn't a me thing, it was a him thing.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, but it was just another realization on how deep it goes into the brain to try to hide it, try to live like a double life. And it's wild, how just seeing explicit things change somebody,
Yeah. Sorry you went through that. It's tough.
It's okay. I'm better for it. But thank you so much for having me on your life today.
Yeah,
tonight.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right. See you. Yep. Yeah, and Gabby, I'd still think about telling those kids' mom. Right. So, is streaming alive with primarily only women as your audience cheating? Oh, as he brings a man on here. I don't think so. What do you think, Zach? David, what's going on, man? He did it again. You keep leaving. Did you text her, Gabby? Just send a text? Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Sorry.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah. Just some thoughts. So, maybe if the couple agrees, that type of thing, I guess it'd be okay, maybe, within that circumstance.
Okay.
But other than that, all I can really think of is if they have an agreement, maybe if one is out and one is at home, and they have an agreement that it's okay to watch it then, or vice versa. If they got an agreement between it. But
Okay. Do you watch porn?
honestly, I haven't in a long time. But I have had some, with an ex-girlfriend, she found out that I was watching it, and then, she didn't really consider it cheating, but she she was, I think, more pissed at the fact probably that I didn't tell her or, let her know, like, hey, if you felt that way, if you felt like you needed to watch it, then maybe, we could have come to a better understanding about it type thing. But I'm not sure if she I think she thought her exact words, I think it was like maybe borderline cheating in a way, I guess. It's a weird way to put it. But pretty much that's all I pretty much got.
All right, thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. I'm trying to get my censor button to work. It's broken. All right, I'm gonna go to bed soon. I'll take maybe one or two more. All right, here's the thing. If you've been betrayed, here's the question: is why are you tolerating that? Why are you still in that relationship? All right, this is how I got started with my women's groups. Is I love helping stand with women to empower them to not tolerate this anymore. And or go have the conversations you're wanting to have, but maybe you haven't found the courage to go have that conversation. It takes courage to do these hard, scary things. But what do you want? Do you want to live not knowing, or do you want to live knowing that you tried? When we can't change another person or a situation, we are forced to change ourselves and show up differently for the sake of the world around us, like Gabby did tonight. Gabby, how did your wife get through it? Well, we both immediately sought the help of therapists and counselors and support groups and marriage intensives. Yeah, Doug Weiss divorced his wife of like 20-some years about 2 years ago and married Joni Lamb, who is his co-host on the show that he now is like a permanent contributor on. He and his wife got divorced in it was roughly, don't quote me on it, December of 2021, and he got married to Joni Lamb in March of 2022 with zero explanation. So when you want something to change, it takes work. If you want to build intimacy in your relationship, you got to work at it. And when you can't change somebody else, which you can never do, you got to change yourself. So the question is, what needs to change inside of you to help create the world, the life that you're wanting to live? All right, who's next? Let's get a dude on here. We haven't had a dude in a while, except for that last dude. Mobsta 49th, are you a dude? Mobsta, what's going on? Hello. Hello. No Mobsta. All right. I need to go to bed. Oh, I want to get, so I'm almost at 27,000 followers. I'm not going to get there tonight, though. I would need 86 followers. That's not going to happen. Can you guys follow me if you haven't followed me yet? But how do we get over him fantasizing after other people? You got to do some work around the betrayal trauma that you've experienced. Dude, I've been waiting since there was 3 people here. You're not even on the list, Anielle. I have not even seen your name on the list. All right, whoever gives me the biggest... Oh, Anielle, you were waiting a while, allegedly, so I'll bring you on. We won't even do the gift thing. So this will be my last one unless somebody gives me a big gift. TikTok gift. Hey there, how's it going?
Hey. Sorry, no,
Hey.
I was waiting. I don't know why it wasn't showing up with you, but it was showing up with
I
me.
didn't see it, but all right, I believe you. What's up?
I just wanted to say, I think that this whole conversation has some nuance to it. for instance, if there's like a porn addiction, or if they have a certain type of demographic that they want to reach and you don't reach that demographic, it's weird. Like, for instance, I myself am black, but if I saw someone wanting a petite Asian person consistently throughout porn, then I might say, hey, maybe I'm not the person that they're attracted to. Or say if they choose porn consistently over actual physical sex, then maybe I have to look at not necessarily if I'm attractive or who they are, but like maybe they're not attracted to me. And so when people talk about porn, I think it's more about, I guess, whether or not they feel needed, wanted, cherished, and everything. Because if I find someone, and I've had this in conversations, one of the first date questions I have is, what is your preferred things with porn? And if it's things that I'm not willing to give, but maybe it's not like their fixation, I might still think about being with them, or I might still think about being around them.
You can't give them what porn gives, ever. Porn's fantasy.
Yeah. But for instance, like if they said gang, everything, you know what I'm talking about, was something that they want or they crave, and I wasn't willing to give it, then maybe, sometimes it might be a once.
You can't give them anything porn offers, because porn's not real.
Oh yeah.
You can't give them a fantasy experience.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is a fantasy, and there are things such as like sexual resentment.
You can't give them a fantasy experience in real life. They're different things.
Oh yeah.
You can't
I
ever
100%
give them,
agree.
even if it's like the most vanilla thing, you still can't give them what they're going to porn for, because porn
people are
is an
going to
escape from
compare.
reality. You can't escape reality for them.
I agree. But people are going to compare their real life partners if they have something like a tendency to watch it. They're going to compare their real life partners and forget about all of the relationship and the commitment and the actual like social and emotional connection. So if you feel that they are doing that, then maybe you need to look at like whether or not you should be in a relationship. But say if there's something that you're not willing to do, but you do a lot of the other things, like say for instance, back stuff. Maybe once in a while they might look at back stuff, but if they keep fixating on it, then you have to really look at yourself and say, hey, are they really attracted to me? Are they really attracted to our own life sexually? Or say, again, like I said earlier, if they were into petite Asians and that was like a constant in their own search history, and me, myself, I'm a thicker, black, 5'6" woman. I'm not petite and I'm not thin. But if they constantly want that, maybe I just have to say, hey, they don't necessarily want me as an ideal, and that's okay. But are you going to be okay with that? Because I personally would not be okay with that.
Well, what if instead of that, what if we orient towards a relationship, towards you're what I want, and I'm going to orient my whole life, my whole relationship towards being with you. You are now my standard of beauty. Whatever I've had in the past, that's all gone, because now it's you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Why not that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would prefer that, but maybe sometimes there's small things that you can't. Like, for instance, I'm not comfortable with messy stuff. Like, I like regular plain sex. I mean, different positions, sure. But maybe they have something that has to do with having bodily fluids on their body. Is that necessarily going to break or make my relationship? No, but maybe they have a tendency to watch that once in a while. Not all the time, not weekly, but maybe they have to do it sometimes. Not have to, but like maybe it's a fantasy.
Well, why not just talk about, instead of it's like, let's look at porn, which is fake, and talk about all the things we're wanting from a fake thing. Why not just talk about, hey partner, what are you wanting to experience in the bedroom? Hey, and then you guys both talk about that, and then you come to
Well,
an
yeah.
understanding about, well, here's what we're gonna do.
I have been in that situation, and I do think it's okay to have, like, for instance, like, finishing on someone's face. I am not willing to do that. It's not something that's hot to me. It's not something that feels empowering, or it makes me feel degraded and less than human. But maybe they'll watch something with that as the finish. But if there's like a type or a person or a thing that they have with this one porn star, or this, like, maybe they're going way too deep into their fantasy and I need to be out of the equation. But if it's something that happens once in a while, or they just feel like it's a fantasy and it's realistically just an unreachable fantasy, then I think that's okay. Now, if you cheat, of course, it's really terrible, and sometimes these fantasies might turn into physical problems. But I think that there are some fantasies that we all have that maybe our partners aren't willing to do. And I mean, you have to talk about it beforehand. It's not something that you could just find out randomly.
So the fantasy life will never stop as long as somebody keeps indulging in the fantasy.
Well, no, not necessarily. I think that maybe you can still have a fantasy, but not let it be a part of your relationship. You can still have, like, for instance, I could say my ideal type is an anime dude. I don't know, Kakashi from Naruto. And I can still watch, like, thirst edits of him and stuff, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to hold everyone to that standard. It just means that that's something I'm attracted to. But if it overshadows all of the work you did in a relationship, if it overshadows everything that you've done sexually with your partner, if it overshadows everything, or maybe they will take this account.
Why not just strive to create intimacy just between the two of you guys?
You can, but sexual resentment is an actual thing.
Yeah, which is why it should be discussed. I mean, I agree on, like, the whole we should discuss it, but with bringing porn involved to satisfy those fantasies, I mean, I think that gets pretty peculiar.
Well, but I think that's between partners. So, for instance, I would rather talk about it, and I would rather have a full discussion about it, but I don't want there ever to be a situation where they find me less attractive than those people on the internet. I would never want my own sexual life to depend on those people on the internet, and I wouldn't want them to replace my sexual life with those people on the internet.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. I'm way too tired to have the fantasy conversation because it gets too cerebral for me at this stage.
It's complex.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing.
All right. You have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. I'm going to bed. Sorry, people who are waiting. If you like my content, give me a follow. If you want to schedule a discovery call with me, which is a 30-minute call where we can talk about your situation. If you are feeling like you're betrayed and stuck, I've helped tons of women navigate the next best step in a situation like that. I also have a support group for women, a betrayal trauma support group for women. We meet on Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It costs $99 a month. It's an hour and 15-minute weekly Zoom call. It's a great place to heal in community, and again, be coached, challenged, and in community with the goal of making the next right decision and listening to your body, really trying to get to the root of what are you wanting. And those groups are led by myself and other female contributors who come on about once a month. I also have groups for men. We meet on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Same thing, it's a community to challenge the beliefs that we have about porn and how to move forward into something new, to choose a new path for our lives. And the groups are fire. Can it help save your marriage? We're currently separated for 10 months after 19 years of marriage. I make no claims, Ryan, but come check it out. Say it's probably not going to hurt. But if you're asking a question like that, there's going to need a lot of work. You're probably going to need some counseling, some therapy, and, is the marriage something that is savable? I don't know. Every situation is redeemable, but the best place to start, Ryan, would be to schedule a one-on-one with me. A discovery call, link is in my bio. And I'm sorry you're going through that, man. Sorry to go through that. You're going through that. We have guys who are in similar situations and they're working it out. Healing doesn't occur like that overnight, though, man. It takes a long time, a lot of work. So, I've been live for 2.5 hours, Angela. Hey there, how you doing? I need my husband to call you. Schedule a call. Links in my bio. $1 for a 30-minute call. Used to be $50. It'll go back up to $50 at some point. But right now it's $1. Yeah, I'm going to go to sleep soon, Angela. Last night I was so tired. Tonight I only got tired within the last 20 minutes. I really want to play Fortnite, though. The new season. I only play with my son, though. Oh, to the person, you DM me, so I'm not going to say your name, but can you explain the support group? Divorced and so damaged from my husband's addiction. Been 4 years and still a mess. If you're here, again, I'm not going to say who you are. But the Betrayal Trauma Support Group is a community for women to be in community with what is going on with regard to betrayal. It's a very lonely place. You think you're the only person going through it. Nobody else can understand this. And it's an amazing environment to share your story, to grieve, to cry. A lot of crying happens in the group. And to be challenged to move forward, even though this is a really hard situation, a hard circumstance. And so, for the person who just DM'd me that, and I'll reply back to you, a message like that, the group would be a great place to start. Hop on Brawl Stars. I don't get that game. My son plays it, but I don't get it. Anyways, if you're interested, schedule a discovery call or just join the group or just do something to get help. All right. All right. I don't even know what R6 is. Do I have set times for my live? No, but I'm going to start to do that soon. Just stick around. Got a lot of stuff brewing. Stick around. Give me a follow. Sign up for my Discord community, which will put you on my newsletter. And you'll get updated on that. You're in PA? Cool. We got other guys in PA in the group. Tips on how to catch them. If you're asking that question, Jade, you're asking the wrong question. The more you play detective, the more frustrated you're going to get. Yeah, the groups are, Ryan, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern or Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm assuming you're asking about the groups. Oh, I've never played Rainbow Six. I mean, when I was in high school, I did. But that was 20 years ago. Yeah, Jade, so, the goal is not to catch them. I don't play that game. I don't think that works. A lot of these betrayal groups, all it is about the next best way to catch them, and then you catch them, and then you get mad for a little while, and then you need to find a new way to catch them. It doesn't work. It keeps you stuck. So instead, go have the conversation that you need to have, which is essentially, I'm done with the porn. Are you too? If not, just let me know now so I can go somewhere else, if that's what you're wanting. That's the conversation that needs to be had. So, and if they tell you you're crazy, Eileen, ask yourself, are you crazy? And if you decide you're not, then ask yourself the next question. Why am I still in this relationship with a guy who the person who DM'd me about Fortnite, if you join my Discord, we do have a gaming channel, okay? And I'd be happy to add you on Fortnite, but go, do it through the Discord, please. So, anyways, how do I get the guys in Discord? Yeah, the guys definitely don't talk as much in Discord. And I actually just saw your message, that kid. I'll respond to it. Not tonight because I'm super tired, but I'll respond tomorrow. Yeah, and I apologize. I didn't see that earlier. Okay, I got to pee really bad. I'll see you guys. Give me a follow, like, share. Bye-bye.